of given me that scenario, how they kind of separated from their father and then they kind of came back. Now they have a good relationship as an adult relationship. So I'm kind of hoping for that as well. I'm hoping it'll kind of come back around full circle, and and we'll end up with a really good relationship. It isn't bad now. It's just that I missed those early crucial years with her, where you form that, like I said, that foundation. And I had that with the little girl because I was there, during those early years.
Okay, so we'll get to the criminal record and how that plays a part in the workplace. But I'm pretty sure those who've been following your story since the first episode is probably wondering, we haven't heard Jason's name. This is a big deal going on in your family.
Yeah.
With your oldest daughter now being interested to the point where she wants to begin to start courting and dating. So does Jason, you've had this back and forth with your daughter, passed the message to her mother, you and her mother just got into the conversation. How does Jason feel about all this, or do you not know yet?
I don't know, and I don't know that he's said anything. I don't even know if I make an assumption that Anna may be discussing it with him because that he is her spouse. But I haven't asked her. Actually, that might be a good question. That when I talk to her, when we further this discussion, maybe ask her if she's talked to him about it and see kind of what's being said, if she's willing to share between them two. However, over the past couple of weeks, me and Jason have talked more. Not like hung out or anything, but
right.
He was. My daughter had her 15-year-old birthday party last week at Carrabba's. He was there. They were actually up taking, photos and everything like that. My aunt was there. She's a photographer taking photos. They were taking a photo. Anna, my daughter, and Jason. So as a friendly gesture, as a extended family gesture, I ran up and jumped in the photo. And I looked over and I'm like, I hope you don't mind. We're both standing there with Anna and Adriana getting a couple photos, And as soon as I get them, maybe I'll post it on the Facebook page. But, a lot of his family was there, a little bit of my family, more so his family. And I didn't feel any kind of way about it. I just wanted to kind of show, like, hey, I get it now. We're all a family now. Maybe you're not my family, but you're part of my daughter's family now, which in essence is an extension of me. So we can all just kind of.
What's interesting is with family dynamics and family structures like yours, it's really cool that you did that, because 20 years from now, 30 years from now, those type of pictures is what your daughters are going to be looking for. Because they're going to have those throwback Thursdays and flashback Fridays. And they're going to be like, wow, this is a picture with all of us in it. Or look, this is a picture with my dad and Jason in it. Because, I only have less than a handful of pictures with me, my sister, my biological mother, my biological father. And when I see these, whenever people bring them out, I'm like, what? Really? And I just make a big deal about it. So I think what you did by squeezing in that picture, I think that's really cool. It may not be as big right now, but like you said, with your daughter, she may come back around, because 20, 30 years from now, she's going to see that picture, and that's going to mean something to everybody in your family. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's interesting that you would say that, because I wasn't even thinking that. It was almost like I didn't even consider that. It was almost like, to use a church phrase, the spirit moved me. Like I felt the inkling to do that, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. And I jumped up there, and it was fun, and everybody had a laugh, and everyone had smiled. Like, I've been to family things where there's fights and yelling and cursing. Like, it was fun, and we had a good time, and you had these two families together, and everyone's talking to everyone else. It was good. It was good.
See, as you tell your story, man, I think um, I believe you're a guy of moments. Like you was talking about earlier, like, you know, you may not spend a $3,000 on a Christmas, I believe you said.
Yeah.
But you'll create these moments. And when you really look back in your life, the older you get, it's really all about moments.
Yeah.
And
yeah, exactly.
what you just did by the spirit moving you, whatever, that was a moment.
Yeah.
Like it was a sense of normalcy. Like, all right, this everybody had, or people that's closest to you had to been like, this normally doesn't happen. And although nobody said anything, you created an everlasting moment. And I believe that just if you keep hearing you just share your story, you know, your daughter, when you talked to her about the, I guess, quote unquote, birds and the bees, you got her in the car, right? And that was a moment.
Yeah.
Right? You created a moment. She can never say that never happened.
Yeah.
Because you could easily just say it at dinner or at lunch or in a family setting, but it's just a family setting at that point.
Yeah.
But when you create these moments, you know, those trips to DC, those trips to Baltimore, these are all moments. The Slim Jim, right? The Slim Jim for the first time, that's a moment. You keep creating these moments. I really, really love that. And the fact that you just got up and got in that picture, really big. We have to get to this. You know what? We might have to go to the criminal background next
time. I was looking at that. I do see the time. This was good. You know, I didn't know my daughter was going to take up this whole section, but yeah, we can definitely get into that next time.
You got to give us Mother's Day. Just let's take a few minutes and let's talk about this Mother's Day, because you did talk about you said Mother's Day's coming up, and you said you're interested. You didn't say you're definitely, but you said you're thinking about taking your mother out for Mother's Day.
Yeah. So so you know we've discussed.
Know that that's almost an oxymoron.
Exactly. So we discussed, you know, my relationship with my mother or the lack thereof, a mother and son relationship. My girlfriend's been kind of like prodding me, you know, with my relationship with my mother, trying, you know, like I have one perspective, you know, and I've shared all that with her as well, but she has the perspective of you don't know what she was experiencing or what she was going through. You don't know what in life was, you know, just basically as a woman, as a single mother, as a woman that ended up pregnant by a guy that impregnated her and then took off. You don't know what she was going through. All you know is that she wasn't there to take care of you, so you have all those feelings wrapped up in you, you know? So she's kind of been on, you know, on the one side, and, you know, and then I saw that Mother's Day was coming up, and I just thought, like, again, maybe like the spirit moving me a little bit. Like, I don't know what's going. She's been like, "Have you hugged your mother?" I'm like, "No, I can't do that. Like, I can hug a stranger before I hug my mother. You know, it feels weird. It's something that is a difficult task to do." But as Mother's Day is approaching, I thought, you know what? Maybe I don't know what will come of it, but if I'm going to take any steps, and I don't know where it's going to lead, but if I'm going to start to understand what she was going through in life, which will maybe explain a lot about why our relationship is the way it is, or why it was the way it was, then maybe that's a step. Maybe we go out to dinner. Maybe we don't even get into anything deep. Maybe I just take her out to dinner. Maybe I ask her a question. I don't know.
So is your girlfriend more so kind of bringing this up so you can get those answers, or is she, because you just said a mouthful, and I didn't think about that. Like maybe you didn't think about what she was going through, and why she did it that way. Based on, if you don't know, just from your perspective, is your girlfriend more so saying it from the perspective of you need to get maybe you need to get some answers from her, or is she saying it from the perspective that you shouldn't hold yourself hostage for the rest of your life because of this?
I think she has a different approach to family. My approach to family, because of the family I grew up with, is that even if it's a family member, if they're detrimental to your well-being, physical, mental, emotional, you need to get away from that. That whole family thing is accident. You were born into the same bloodline, but that doesn't hold you hostage to them. If they're not good for you, then they're not good for you. Brother, sister, cousin, mother, father, because you need to take care of yourself. Part of that is because I grew up around such violence and such agony and strife and hate. So some of that is stemmed from that, because I needed to get away from them. I couldn't live like that anymore. So she has a different family approach. Family's very important. You know, you stick through people that are even going through tough times, even if they're not good to you. There's something good you can find in them. So that's sort of her approach. Mine's opposite. Part of me is like, hey, I'm okay with where my relationship is with my mother. She helps out every once in a while. Great. I thank her. Great. It doesn't have to be any more than that. It doesn't have to be hugs and kisses. That went out the window a long time ago. But the other part is, because I want to know more about me, myself, yourself is wrapped up in the people around you. We just kind of discussed this a little earlier about how my parenting style is based off of not just because I came up with it, but there's a lot of factors and a lot of people that created this in me. I was listening to a podcast this morning. I listened to Mark Maron's WTF. He had Louis Anderson on. You know the comedian Louis Anderson?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, he plays some role where he dresses up as a woman. You know, he's got this TV show, and he started to channel his mother in this role. Anyway, what he said, I'm just listening to this morning. He said his parents are deceased, his mom's dead. He's like, ask the questions while you can. Because when they're gone, you can't. So I got my girlfriend, I got Louis Anderson, you know, in my ear, and I'm thinking, maybe I'll ask some questions. Maybe I'll get some better understanding. Maybe she won't answer them. I don't know. But maybe I make the attempt and say, hey, what was going on?
So so what do you think would be your mom's reaction if you hugged her and kissed her?
Never mind her reaction. What would be my reaction? I don't even I'm scared to do that.
But what do you think? What do you think she would she be like? Whoa, whoa.
I think she would be like. Whoa, what are you doing? But she'll say she loves me. She does say that. She'll tell me in text.
And you don't say it back.
I don't say it back. It feels uncomfortable when it comes in text.
But she said it to you in voice, in person, right?
No.
So she's never said it in person.
No, but she'll say it in text sometimes.
Do you think if she said it in person to you, you would say it back?
No, I wouldn't. It feels uncomfortable in text. I would probably be like, whoa, you just crossed the boundary there, you know? Because it was never there, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people on the outside, they had the thinking like, you only have one mother and that's your mother, but
no, I understand.
You know,
I understand.
In the relationship of us coming up, she was never my mother. I just knew that woman was my mother, but she was never my mother. You know, so what is it going to take? You said you're on the fence with this Mother's Day. Even when you just was talking about it, you was like, so I might do it. I might. Yeah. Like, what is it going to take? Or are you just withholding information and we're going to hear about it on the 6th? No. It's no.
You know how the news tells you in the morning, we have some really big information, but you got to wait until.
Yeah. On the next episode.
Right.
My girlfriend wants to meet my mom too. And part of me is like, there's really no need to. We really don't have this relationship, but she wants to meet my mom. So I'm hoping that she'll go with me. It's what kind of She'll get to meet my mom, and maybe we'll have a nice